Hey guys, welcome to Practical Home Projects. So today we're going to be installing an under the sink water filter from Waterdrop, and we're going to be integrating that with our new faucet. So we chose to upgrade from a simple pitcher system to the under the sink system, mostly for simplicity, but we also believe this is a slightly better filter. Waterdrop has an NSF rating to say that it removes heavy metals, biologics, and also chlorine. Those are things that are important to us. This filter is not designed for anyone on a well system, so you'll need to kind of look into a different filtration system if that's what you have. And also just the simplicity. We like the one step, and it's very easy to change out the filter. It also is going to be very easy to install, so let's go ahead and jump into that. These are the items included inside of our filtration kit. There's the filter itself along with its mount. There's 2 braided hoses for the inlet and the outlet. There's a couple of adapters for the 3/8 to 1/2 inch water lines. It even comes with 2 screws and a template to help you set the mount up, and it comes with a little bit of PTFE tape to help get those seams nice and tight. So these are the tools we're going to use for this project today. It's pretty standard to have 2 wrenches to help us tighten those hoses. I have a drill and a drill bit to help us kind of pre-drill those holes, and then I had to purchase 2 adapters. This is a T adapter to help us add that extra line, and this is just a double female threaded adapter to help us kind of connect those pipes, and then this gasket came with it to kind of keep that watertight. So I'll go through exactly how to use these whenever we do our installation. You see here a diagram for the hoses underneath our sink. So we have a special faucet type that allows us to have not only the standard cold and hot water inlets, but also a separate filtered water inlet with its own separate tap. So in order to make that work, we need to go back to the beginning of our cold water inlet and include a T adapter. So that T adapter splits the cold water into 2 different streams. So one's going to bypass the filter and one's going to go through the filter. And as that water comes out of the filter, it then attaches to a separate hose. So the hose that came out of our faucet and the hose that comes with our filter kit did not match up, so we need to include a special adapter here. So let's look at the installation of that adapter now. So I'm actually going to start with the hoses from the faucet connection down to the filter itself. So our particular faucet is a little unusual in that it has this 1/2 inch male threaded end that we need to connect to. The adapter that came with the kit can convert the 1/2 inch male thread to a 3/8 inch. However, that doesn't fit the type of hose that we're trying to connect to, which is why I purchased this female thread. So I'll go ahead and start connecting those. So obviously I'm not going to use this, but this is essentially what it's going to look like when I connect it under the sink. And I like to work out here and get as much done before I get under the sink as possible. I'll use the PTFE tape whenever I have a brass to stainless steel connection, just because I find that a little bit easier. And remember to run your tape in the same direction that your nut's going to run. So since I'm going to be tightening the nut this way, I like to have the thread run this way so that it doesn't bunch up into a ball. And usually about 2 wraps is sufficient. Make it 2.5 or 3. And then we'll want to put the gasket on the side that has a moving bottom. So I'll go ahead and put this as the gasketed side. And usually the rule of thumb is once you get it hand tight, do an extra 1/4 turn with your wrenches. So that should be good. I noticed that we don't necessarily need a gasket since the bottom of this is completely solid. However, I noticed it was bottoming out as I threaded it on, so I'm just going to go ahead and insert an extra gasket so that way it'll not bottom out and it'll stay totally watertight. Now we have our adapters in place, we can go ahead and connect to the faucet. Our next step is to disconnect the water lines, so I'll go ahead and turn the valve off, and then I like to open up the tap at this point, which breaks the suction in that line. So now when I disconnect the hose, it can dribble out a little bit and it won't make a mess later. So I will attach this hose to the other port on our T adapter. So now I have the T adapter fully set up and ready to attach back to the inlet line. So once that's installed, we have all of our inlet ports ready. So I believe we would like to install our filter on this wall. The back wall is just a little veneer, and the instructions don't say anything specifically about installing it on the ground, but I think we just in general want to have it vertical. So I will plan on putting it right about here. I will use the templates to help me mark those holes. So I think that height is about right. Now for the final connections. So these simply slide in, and there's a little lip that it catches behind. And then if you ever need to pull it out, you can push in that tab and just slide it out. And now it's fully installed. So this is the water coming in, and then it goes through the filtering system, and this is the water going out to our faucet. Now the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and turn our water line back on. So our standard faucet operates by running back here. However, this new faucet with the filter operates like that. Obviously you want to let it flush a couple gallons through before you drink any water, so we'll just go ahead and let it run. But the main reason that we like this system is because your standard water lines and your filtered water lines are completely separate. So the life of this filter, this is the 15 AU version, is about 16,000 gallons. So whenever your filter is starting to run slow, or maybe you're noticing that the water quality isn't what you want it to be, you can just simply twist this, pop it out, and then put the new filter back in. You might want a towel or something down here because a little bit of water is going to come out whenever you do that change. I hope you found this installation guide helpful if you're also looking at the Waterdrop system. We're not sponsored by Waterdrop in any way. We just thought that their system worked very well since we have the faucet that has an integrated filtered water tap that allows us to use this filter without having to drill another hole in our countertop. So if you guys have any comments or you guys have any more suggestions, please put that in the comment area down below. And then as always, please like and subscribe if you like what you saw. We'll try to get more good stuff out to you later. Thank you. Bye.